Let me explain how hair of the dog works. The first thing we need to understand about alcohol is that it primarily affects the brain and the liver. So hair of the dog works because alcohol is a depressant, and when it leaves your bloodstream, you go into a state of rebound, and that's what makes you feel bad. So when you drink more alcohol, it binds to these receptors, and then it starts making you feel good again. Everyone knows that drinking is fun, and it makes you feel good. So as your blood alcohol concentration is going up, you tend to feel good, right? You'll feel typically your best at your peak blood alcohol concentration. The problem is that when alcohol starts leaving your bloodstream, you go into a state of rebound. You'll now feel irritated, stressed, and generally bad. And this is what we call GABA rebound. Now let me show you what you can do about it with science. This product right here was on the season finale of Shark Tank and is now sold in over 30,000 brick and mortar retail locations, including Walgreens, CVS, Albertsons, Hy-Vee, Meijer, Wegmans, H-E-B, 7-Eleven, Circle K, and a whole lot more coming soon. People always act like hang are black and white, that you're either hung or you're not. And this is one of the dumbest things you could ever say because it's not black and white, it's shades of gray. If you just drink a little bit of alcohol, say one drink, well guess what? You're going to have this one drink curve that kind of looks like this, right? But if you are to go on something like a bachelor or bachelorette party and your drinking looks something like this, well then guess what? You are going to have a lot of rebound, okay? So this is all relative to how much alcohol you consume. Inside this product, there is an ingredient called dihydramycin, or DHM for short. And DHM will actually bind to the same brain receptor that alcohol binds to, the GABA receptor. So basically, if you administer Cheers with or as close to your last alcoholic beverage as possible, which is typically going to be your peak blood alcohol concentration, as the alcohol is leaving your bloodstream, the DHM is going in and replacing it and ultimately buffering this rebound. This, of course, is then relative to how much you consume. So if you just had one or two drinks, well then guess what? You are going to lower the rebound of one or two drinks. If you had a ton of drinks, well then guess what? You're still going to feel pretty bad, but you are going to lower the relative time of discomfort and the amount of time that these are undergoing severe rebound. That's how alcohol affects your brain, but what about your liver? Let me show you. When you drink alcohol, alcohol uses an enzyme called ADH and converts into something called acetaldehyde. And acetaldehyde is 20 times more toxic than alcohol is itself. So you may want the alcohol because that's what makes your brain feel good, but you definitely don't want the acetaldehyde because that's what's so toxic, and that is one of the main reasons that alcohol is hard on your liver. It then uses an enzyme called ALDH to then convert acetaldehyde into acetate, which is basically just non-toxic vinegar, and then you pee it out. The flavonoid DHM will not only reduce GABA rebound, it will actually speed up the rate of ALDH. So the faster your ALDH is working, the more acetaldehyde that you can break down into acetate, meaning you can process acetaldehyde even faster. But there is an amino acid in here called L-cysteine, and L-cysteine will actually bypass this acetaldehyde to acetate step by actually binding to acetaldehyde and forming a non-toxic compound called MTCA, meaning we don't have to just rely on ALDH to get rid of the acetaldehyde and support our liver. This right here is a 1-pack that is sold in 7-Eleven and Circle K for $5 a dose. This right here is a 3-pack, which is in Walgreens, CVS, and many grocery stores, which is $4 a dose. And this right here is the value pack where you can get 12 doses for less than $3 a dose. And we always have the cheapest price on TikTok Shop because of our sales.